Awesome. Hey, how are you?
What's up?
Good
Hey,
to
how are
see
you? Good to see you.
Go ahead and state your first and last name, how you found us, and how long you've been working with us.
Sure. So my name is Kristen. I found you guys. I met you guys at a gym, and I've been working with you for about 3 months now.
Awesome. Yes, been killing it. Could you talk a little bit about what you were doing beforehand and what made you kind of decide to go with us? And
Sure. So I had been working out kind of by myself. I've been doing kind of just different workouts, whether working on a treadmill or a bike. And then I really wanted to kind of get into kind of a gym atmosphere and work out with others, and that's where I got to meet you guys. What led me to really kind of looking into the program was I wanted to really learn how to do macros and have a sustainable diet rather than something working for me for a period of time and then, it obviously kind of falling off. I do have 2 little kids, so I'm always at birthday parties, I'm always, the pizza run, the cake here and there, and I wanted to be able to enjoy that without feeling guilty. And I figured macros was probably the best way to go about it, but I had no idea how to start, and I didn't want to find someone that was online that I had never met and had no idea really what their qualifications were.
right. What would you say was the most challenging thing about getting you to decide to start the program?
I think the most challenging aspect of it for me was not necessarily the program with you guys. Once you guys had kind of started coming out with it, I was watching you guys from afar. I think it's a personal journey, right? I have to open up really my life to you guys in a sense because you guys have to understand the obstacles or boundaries that I have to be able to be successful with your program. And that was difficult because, I have stuff going on, I'm busy, and I have to be able to trust the people I work with and really feel like they understand me and they understand what I'm going through. So that was probably the hardest part, was really kind of being a bit vulnerable because that's not necessarily something I'm used to. So
Right.
that was a big piece for me.
Yeah.
One of the things you mentioned was you wanted a program that you could show your girls that it was healthy to do. Is this something that
100%.
is healthy for them?
I think so, right? I mean, I didn't grow up, I'm an 80s baby, grew up in the 90s, right? So it was always low carb, no carb, low fat. And I really struggled when I was younger, and that was before the social media days. And like you said, I have 2 little girls that watch literally everything I do. I mean, I'm wearing black shoes, they want to wear black shoes. They just replicate everything I'm doing. So I knew I had to do something that, one, would make sense for me, and that I was proud to, show them that you can do it. You can be healthy and feel good about yourself and nourish yourself at the same time, rather than feel like this is good, this is bad. I didn't want to have that conversation anymore with myself, and I knew if I was having it with myself, they would start having it with themselves. So I wanted to do it in a responsible way.
Yeah, representing what a good relationship
100%.
with
And I
food looks
never
like.
had that. I didn't, and it's not because of the people I grew up with or my figures in my life. It was more of I saw that growing up, and I did have issues with it. And I knew that if I didn't have all of those social media pieces to it, I knew that it would be, even more a challenge for them. So they had to see a healthy relationship with food in their home, rather than me, being on paleo one day and then doing something else the next, right? I just didn't want them to see that. I didn't think that was right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, and the way you talk about yourself too.
100%. It's so important. It starts with you, and I think I really wanted them to see, that powerful woman figure in their life. So that's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a good example for
Yeah.
sure, especially with how active you are. What do you think the biggest adjustment has been from, I know you mentioned having to be a little bit more vulnerable than you're used to, but just program-wise, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make going into it?
So I had to trust the process. When we had first gone over the macros and kind of looked at it, the carbs were a stressor for me, right? Because it was just always something that I just stayed away from it because that was programmed, right? So I remember one day I didn't have for breakfast and lunch, I didn't have any carbs, and I had to fit them all in at the end of the day. And my husband was looking at this bowl of pasta, and he was like, "Are you really gonna eat that?" And I was like, "I have to. It's part of the, it's part of the program." But it's funny because because of that, it makes it not so, it's not like a taboo thing. Like we'd go out, never really made pasta at the house. I made it for the kids, obviously, but I would never really indulge. And then on Fridays, we'd go out to like a pizza, pasta place, and I would like binge on pasta because I was like, this is the one time you're gonna get it for the week. So now, it's like, it's not, I get it all the time. So it's not even like really a thing. So it's taken that fear of foods, different kinds of foods that I might have had previously, and just made it, it's just another, there is no bad or good piece to it. It's just another food, you know, which is really freeing to an extent,
Yeah, so it sounds like a huge like mindset shift a little bit.
Yeah.
And just something that's super sustainable. Like you said, you can still go out to eat.
That's right.
All that
And
good stuff.
I don't feel if I'm at a kid's birthday party and I have a piece of pizza, it's not like okay, the whole day is ruined, right? It's just you fix the macros for the rest of the day, which is nice because previously I'd be like, I had a cupcake, it's over, let's just do whatever we want to do for the rest of the day, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Now it's just like, it's just another day,
Right. What would you say your favorite part about the program in general is? Do you think it would be, just having that good relationship with food and the mindset change or something else?
I think it's definitely the mindset change. I think, I love the accountability part of it, which I had said to you guys originally, that was the biggest piece that I was probably gonna look for. I love being able to, I know that you guys are looking at my steps and my macros and stuff like that. I remember in the beginning, the first week I had worked with you guys, it was in December, and I was going out to a work Christmas party, and I had logged what I thought I was going to eat, and I remember you guys had texted me, you're like, you have no carbs on there, but it makes me know that you guys are watching, and helping me to guide me, right? So that's been really good.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's what we think the most important part is the accountability.
Yeah.
Just you knowing that somebody's gonna, catch you if you fall, but also might be there just in time, to keep you from doing it.
That's right.
As coaches, like, what do you think? Like, what's your favorite part of having like us as coaches?
I mean, the knowledge is huge, right? I mean, I think the biggest piece of why I had never done a program before. I mean, I had never really met anyone that was running their own program. So that was one thing. But, there's so much misinformation out there. And I think that was my biggest stumbling block with ever wanting to go with someone else because, you don't necessarily know what their qualifications are. You don't know how they're really acting. Like I see you guys. I know, you have those qualifications. I've worked with you previously for months before that as far as at the gym. So I knew your attitude as well. You guys are super positive. So it made me, even in some of, the tougher days, like my husband was out of town for 2 weeks and I was struggling mentally. But you guys kept me on track, right? Like it was just like, it's just another day. Just take it step by step, make sure you're preparing and then you'll be fine. It doesn't seem like such a bit lofty goal when you're doing it day at a time.
Right.
And I think that's what's really important, right? Is just taking it, day at a time. And you guys being my accountability partners, right? Make it much easier.
Yeah, making it as much of a lifestyle thing as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's like one of the benefits of having a coach. Like sometimes, it feels like everything can like be closing in on you and it just takes that one person to, hey, step away, like just look at it from afar.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as.
And another big piece of it was like I would reach out to you guys on the most random stuff. Like, hey, have you ever heard of this snack? Like,
Wait, this rice.
Right. That was so big for me. And I remember being like, this I'm sure is so simple, but I don't know why I can't figure this out. And that made it so much easier because if I looked online, I saw so many different iterations and I was like, you don't know what to trust.
And there is a bunch of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
So it's just, and that's one of the things that we like. It's taking the time to get to know you, to figure out what's actually going to work for you. Not just some cookie cutter thing.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like I know you guys know what my goals are and are going to help me work towards those goals. It's not like when I came into this program, you were telling me what you could help me with. It was more of what are your goals and then how can we work the program to fit those goals, which was super helpful, right? Because I don't want a cookie cutter. If I do, I could get a $20 program online, which wouldn't work, right? Because it doesn't work. The same thing doesn't work for everyone. So that was big for me.
Yeah. Speaking of goals, what have your results been so far, and have you reached your goals?
So I'm down over 10 pounds, which is huge for me. I'm very happy with that. I definitely don't think I'm done, but I think the biggest goal that I didn't know was going to be a goal, I guess my non-scale victory, is not feeling bad when I've had like a rougher day, or if I've, indulged a little bit more than I would have, or that was, inside of my macros. I think I just don't feel bad about it, right? It's just the consistency piece of it that is huge, right? As long as you're consistent, it's okay if you have the extra s'more, like I did Sunday night. It's okay, right? And there's no reason, like I know, like I would wake up, in the middle of the night or when I'm getting ready to like get closer to my workout time, and I would be like, oh, like there's so many things that you could have done better. But like in this situation, I don't feel that way because I'm being consistent every day, day over day. And if I have a slip up,
it happens.
It happens, right? Like it is what it is. You can't be perfect all the time,
Yeah, I like that. What other benefits have you seen from doing the program? Do you feel like there's other things in your life that have improved, and what's that look like?
So in my opinion, so I'm disciplined normally. And then when I came into this, and when I decided to do this program, I obviously knew I was gonna have to be a bit more disciplined. And all of that kind of rolls over into everything else I do, right? Whether it's with the kids or if it's work or with my husband or like just showing up today, right? Like just showing up and being disciplined and doing all of that good stuff. I think it's really important. And it's definitely impacted my day-to-day in the most positive way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. What about the program, or would you recommend the program to others, and why?
Yes, absolutely. I just think you guys have a really great dynamic. I think you have a lot of great knowledge that has been super helpful for me. I've never been able to stay on something, really 3 months, right? And consistent.
Under 3 months.
Yeah. and feel like, I don't want it to end, because I feel really good with what I'm doing. Which normally, like I had done other, like the 75 hard and all those good things, which are great, and they're not necessarily weight loss things, more of a mental challenge. But when the 75 days were over, I was over it. But with you guys, it just feels like it's like you said, it's a lifestyle. So it's been really nice just kind of get comfortable in it and work towards it. So I would definitely recommend it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about the program or about your goals or anything?
No, it's been great. I'm really happy with where I am. I'm so glad I reached out to you guys.
Yeah, we're glad.
And, like I said, all of the benefits have rolled over, not only to just my life, but to like my family's life as well, right? So I see my girls, they all are in sports, and they think about eating healthy. And when we talk about, it's funny, my oldest is 9, and she was talking about calories. She must have heard something in school. And I was like, but there's no good or bad. Your body's a machine. You need to nourish it. It's really important. And my husband was just telling me he was on the tread earlier today. So, I think, when they see it and they see all of the benefits, and obviously the girls don't necessarily understand it, but it does impact, the people that you're around. And in this situation, it's such a positive thing. So you can't think of a better thing to rub off on people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been really, really good.
Yeah,
Good.
I remember like 2 to 3 weeks in, you said your husband was like asking you questions.
Yeah, he was like, so what do you think your coaches would say about this? And I was like, I don't know, why don't you join the program?
Yes.
So, but it's been good, I think, when people see that you're not struggling through something and you're enjoying the process, I think that says something, right? Because we all have such limited energy and time and funds, right? So if you're gonna do something, you want it to be impactful. And I think this has been truly impactful for me in the best way. And like I said, it's definitely rolled over to the people that I live with at home, so.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much.
It's been a pleasure coaching you. We got a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll keep going.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah,
That
thanks
was
so
awesome.
much.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.